for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out, Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out, Papa Legba, Yeshua, Ilegua, come out. 'Cause this is our land. Yes, we was here first. They came here on a boat. They'll leave here in a hearse. They'll leave here through the dirts. They're going through the earth. We're channeling their ancestors to undo their hurts. 'Cause once upon a time, we all could read and write. That legalese is lies. Strong men spell cursive ties. Strong men all caps disguise. They've gentrified our lives. We've redefined their sights. We've redefined their kind. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose it. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Yes, this shit is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose it. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? Play their game, but by our rules. I'm Queen Annie the Maroon. I am Queen of Dongo. I am Queen of Zinga. I am Yenaga. I'm Carlotta and Fermina. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. When you chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor you gon' choose? 'Cause I am a goddess. I am a priestess. I chant these mantras and they all repeat it. If we make a promise, this land we gon' seize it. Get vengeance for Mother Earth treason. This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. This for the gentrifiers. Repetition of empires. Invading land with gunfire. Slavery not posters for hire. Income not what you desire. Outcome working jobs for hours. Mindset waiting to retire. Never stop working for dollars. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Which ancestor you gon' choose? When you chant, they gonna lose. 'Cause this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. Which ancestor we gon' choose? When we chant, they gonna lose. My spirit guides come in with that sin. My ancestors defend. I got that juice to transcend. My spirit guides come in with that sin. My ancestors, I got that juice to transcend. 'Cause I am a Santi, I am a Sata, I am a host, I am a homie, I am a Tamba. Yes, I am a Tamba. 'Cause I am a Santi, I am a Sata, I am a host, I am a homie, I am a Tamba. Yes, I am a Tamba. Yes, this is juju music. This shit here is voodoo music. When we chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor we gon' choose? Hey, choose. 'Cause when we chant, they gonna lose. Which ancestor we gon' choose?
Mess with the wrong witch, and she knows it. And now you know it. Bounce your shoulder, feel the vibe.
I ain't stressing today.
Yo,
I ain't stressing today.
bounce. You negative, well I ain't got time.
I ain't stressing today.
Yo,
I ain't stressing today.
bounce. Peace and love is on my mind.
I ain't stressing today.
Hold up.
I ain't stressing today.
Bounce. I'ma tell you one more time.
I ain't stressing today.
Yeah.
I ain't stressing today.
Bounce. Watch my whip today, I buffed it up good with the shannon. Feeling good, think I might just pull up on my granny. We watch that Wheel of Fortune while we eat that church chicken. She tell me that she been thinking one day I'm gonna win a Grammy. I say now shout out to my barber, that boy on a mission. Got my line so crispy when I talk they pay attention. And my lady is so bad, swear she was born in her bag. Had to give her extra cash to go tip her beautician. Like how you look that good? I'm about to show you off, let's cruise up through my neighborhood. You said my partner tried to holler, boy I wish he would. You know what, I ain't even much tripping. I'm confident in me, so can't nobody catch me slipping. And don't call me
Strategy for knowledge in the book. Change our language so we couldn't read it if we look. Convince us we ain't have shit here but disease. Made us 3/5 human and black and legally. You put your fists up to being African American. How much history you went through for that to make some sense? I've been on Turtle Island 10,000 years. Akubulan been my neighbor. Pangea brought me here. The world didn't start in 1400s. Niggas grow up. What you think we was doing? Morse was running Europe. We been tribal folk, now it's time to show up. Bring back the villages, cause cities ain't got no love. Your melanin addicted to the infliction of pollution. Chemical dependency, nature the solution. Grow your food and medicine, build homes in conclusion. The enemy will tell a lies, infiltration as inclusion.
The cosmos a little bit while we wait for some people to come on. But you already noticed the Hump Day Reading, so if you would like a reading, go ahead and put your name in the chat for a reading. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to talk about some cosmos because we got some cosmic happenings happening this month. This month is a very interesting month. You know, Pluto is front and center, ready. Scorpio energy is ready to be in the spotlight, making moves already early in the game with different conjunctions and minimal angles and things, and it's fun to see. We have Pluto going prograde on October 10th, which is going to be a very interesting experience. Now, I believe that Saturn is supposed to be in retrograde. Let me check my notes. Oh, until November 4th. So we might kiss Capricorn. Saturn might kiss Capricorn with Pluto real quick. Well, Pluto's in 27 degrees. I doubt that Saturn going to make it to the 27 degrees. But we do have a very close, degree situation happening, what have you, with Pluto and Saturn on the tropical chart with well, actually no, I'm lying. Saturn is on its way back to Aquarius. Excuse me. I wanted something. That was what I wanted. That's something that we might get like 10 years from now, the Pluto-Saturn situation, a little disruption there. I'm thinking about Pluto just entering Aquarius and Saturn being well-versed in Piscean energy. So they're about 30 degrees apart. But yeah, about 10 years, we might get that little lined up. But we had that before. What was it? Last time we were in Capricorn space, we had a nice lineup of the outer planets in Capricorn. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit before we get that again. But that was a cool, lineup of the planets in Capricorn prior to like the separation of planets, because we were able to have all those interpersonal planets. That probably was like a big aha moment for a group of people, because in that space and time, you're really paying attention to discipline and order and survival of self, and how you've been, obtaining your basic resources and maintaining them, and how you feel about the basic resources. What do you think about them? Like, do you think that they're still necessary? Is it time to, remix all these different things? All those thoughts is coming to the forefront with the alignment of those planets. So Pluto going back prograde. It's gonna be real interesting because it's a couple weeks prior to us entering Scorpio energy. Like I said, we got some conjunctions and minimal angles with Pluto. This month, I believe Pluto and the Moon is going to hang out a little bit. When the Moon hits Capricorn energy, Pholus and Pluto, they're not in the same like modality, whereas like Pluto is in the mutable and Pholus is still in cardinal Capricorn. However, they're still within like 30 degree, from each other. So, Pholus brings like extreme energy. So whatever Pluto was doing, it's got that clear quartz next to it, making it even more extreme. Pluto is the energy of Oya, and I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what's been happening with the waters, but a lot of things is going underwater right now. I've been aligning with some people, reading up on things, cross-referencing and stuff like that, and it was a lot, especially in the New York area, but it was a lot of areas on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast, so what I've been seeing on the East Coast is a lot of areas that was built on top of Native American mounds, especially the mounds in the West Coast, like in the desert mounds. So all that stuff that was built on top of it, the things are underneath are coming up, right? We pull in the reverse tower for the powers that be, and the upright tower for for the powers that was, but not totally the powers that was, but the powers that need to be, the powers that are coming. You know what I'm saying? Because we're here to do things anew. We're not really too much here to like repeat any type of energy. Sankofa vibes is not like, 100% reflection. It's kind of like, looking back a little bit and bringing some things forward, and that's always fun in the sun. You know what I mean? So, we have Pluto in the space with Pholus. Pholus bringing extremity. So, it's extreme happenings. What's happening? How things are coming uncovered. It's not happening, and butterflies and rainbows and purple clouds. And so for a lot of people, it's about like really arming yourself and finding discipline and groundedness, especially for my water babies, that you guys are really good with absorbing other people's energies and other people's feelings and emotions and things like that. And sometimes you have a habit in your space of reflecting or whatever, that you adopt these emotions and things as your own. Transformation to that type of energy, transformations to that method of coping with things. Transformations to that. Pluto is also the goddess of the marketplace, and the goddess of the elders. So transformation happening to the elder realm and how the elders have been moving. Because like I said, it's cool to look at older pictures and look at our ancestors and have such a deep respect for them. But we don't want to have such a deep respect for them that we turn a blind eye to the shadow work that generation of people need to undergo, because there are some things that they didn't do correctly. There's some misinformation there, and there are individuals out here passing the baton forward. So it's just being open to that. And then social shadow work, lineage shadow work. There's a break in the chain, for real. There's a break in the chain somewhere. And it's not about playing a blame game, because we all take part. So everybody has to have their own realms of accountability. Now, where you're being accountable at, it depends on what you claiming. Honestly, like if you claiming, I want to be an ancient Kemet, well, you're going to do the shadow work that the ancient Cometians got for you. Or you want to claim the Moorish Science Empire in any way, whether you incorporate it or unincorporated, it's a religion for you, it's not, whatever. And some shadow work in them realms that need to be done as well. Or you a Hebrew, shadow work in that realm as well. Or you ain't nobody, you out here loving everybody, guess what? Shadow work there too. It's no running away from the shadow work, whether you see colors and races and tribes or you don't, it's still some shadow work to be done on all facets, on all angles, And then Pluto also rules over the marketplace. So, like, thinking about how the marketplace is set up, how has it been set up in the realms of capitalism and at the expense of other people? And there is still slavery going on in a lot of different countries, with a lot of different tribes of people within those countries. And a lot of people are turning a blind eye to it because they could buy 5 pairs of jeans for $40. And that's nice to be able to buy 5 jeans at $40, but at whose expense? We're not asking those kind of questions. It's a lot of me, I. And not enough we. And if we move forward to the realms of we be in a better space. But if we keep saying, that's not my problem, or turning things into a joke, like to watch certain things on like Family Guy and Adult Swim and all that stuff and just laugh at it like, it's children's slave labor. Like, that's not fucking funny. What are we doing right now? So, transformations to all of that. The powers that be, they're scrambling right now. You're going to see them go through drastic measures to try to stay in control, drastic measures to try to keep face while they scramble to keep in control. But the transformations of reality is happening. They can't do nothing about it too much at all. It is what it is. You feel me? But kudos to Pluto. Shout out to Pluto. About to go prograde in 6 days. That means y'all got less than a week. Next Tuesday is when we go back forward. It's going to be a big shift for y'all. Check up on your water babies. Check up on your water friends. Especially my Scorpio friends. Check up on them. It could be a burst of energy. It could be an overwhelming burst of energy because I just told y'all about Pholus being so close to Pluto. And Pluto is an extreme energy by itself. So to have Pluto's Pholus around such an extreme energy, and they both in Capricorn, which is a cardinal earth energy, cardinal with the realms of materializing and manifesting and creating, it's a lot of different things. It's a lot of different avenues that energy can go into as it goes prograde. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my water babies out there. Hey Genesis, can you open this door for me, please? Oh, never mind. I didn't know you had a key. How was work? Did you have the time of your life?
Yeah, it was more fun if she picked me up earlier. She half past my bedtime.
True. That makes sense. Night night. So yeah, a lot of transformations to the market, to capitalism, the economic system. You know, we never were really in a government. All this was corporations, like, and this was something that we were taught in public school. This is not like conspiracy or nothing. When we were taught, in like the first couple chapters of the McGraw-Hill history book, there was like the British company. It was all these different company names that was coming into the land and quote unquote buying up the land. I don't know how you could turn around and start buying up things and start playing around writing things on paper and make it true, but that's what they did. Paper is the name of their game. So they do all this stuff on paper, come on our land and say, hey, if you want to stay on this land, now you have to start working for us for these pieces of paper. And you had some people that was looking at them like, yeah, all right. Okay. Some people fought back. But then you had some tribes that was like, oh, we got to do what they're saying. And they would, and you see a lot of this today too, especially like drug dealers, even like people that do like vending or there's any type of business now. It's like a competition. Like you can't be on my block. Now you in my territory trying to kill a bunch of like deer or whatever for fur. You trapping for fur and stuff like that in my territory. We gotta push you out because my people over here gotta eat. Whether we trapping it for them for money to eat, or we killing them for us to eat them and wear them. Either way, you on our territory. And then the attempt to have enough money for survival, they were over hunting, you know, and that began the imbalance in like the hunting season and all that stuff like that, because now it's excessive. Now it's now we've entered the realms of gluttony for real. Over hunting areas now, you know, there's a different kind of relationship between the hunter and the hunted. It's no more like, you know, that connection between the two where it was like, oh, you know, this is for us and we're praying over it and we're respecting the altar of the animal and our connection to the animal and all that stuff. It's no more of that. Now is we gotta get this money, they gotta go. There's a disconnect in that, you know. So we gotta get back connected with nature. So, you know, it's a lot of shadow. It's a lot of shadow work in that. It's a lot of shadow work in that, because while we were righteous in some respects, it was other respects we wasn't righteous in. It was other decisions that we made, you know, that wasn't okay. And so Pluto also rules over the realms of secrets and telling secrets and revealing of secrets and the transformations that those secrets create, whether in your favor or in another energy's favor. We'll see, you know. So you'll see a lot of different information about different people, especially couples, because Capricorn is, you know, manifesting, creating underlying structure. And what better underlying structure than family, right? They affect everybody. Everybody out here doing shadow work on their family, their lineage and stuff. That's been everybody's focal point, right? So a lot of truths coming out about how certain people's families is really operating. Pluto deals with, like, you know, shared inheritances amongst married people, couples, like partners. Transformations happen in that realm too. You're going to see some people breaking up, some people making up. Some people are coming out and being honest about how what's been going on in their homes, in their relationships, in their business. Pluto also rules the energy of the occultism. It's a lot of cults out here. A lot of them are going to be undergoing some transformations. Some cults out here enduring transformations for their evolution and expansion. Other cults are dealing with, transformations that's like, it's time for y'all to fall. Tower card on y'all. And that's just a part of the game. That's what Pluto's doing. That's what we could prepare for this. That's walking us into Scorpio season is that energy. And then we also got the Draconids, slowly coming to the end of their activity. Their last day is on October 10th as well. That's going to be very interesting energy. Because the Draconis, that's a meteor shower that comes from the Dracon constellation up at the top of the sky and stuff like that. And it's gonna be like around the head if y'all want to catch that. The dragon. The dragon is a very interesting energy because it's really who tells a story, what period of time you're gonna tell the story. There's different points of view when it comes to the dragon. You can think about the dragon in the realms of, these are, the gatekeepers of evil, or we can think about the dragons in the realms of these were the gatekeepers to keep everyone safe. Tiamat, the dragon that's, there's some tales where it's the dragon biting his tail around the earth to keep the earth protected and stuff like that. So you have these different tales of the dragon. So the meteor shower is really just like about how you want to absorb it. What's a dragon to you? Overall, dragon energy is the energy of the protector, fearlessness, because the dragon was usually sent to protect something, to make sure nobody got in, nobody got out type energy. So that's what we're going to be experiencing. That's what we have been experiencing, and that'll end on the 10th. Reminding y'all again that the solar eclipse is on October 14th. That's a Saturday. And then we got the lunar eclipse exactly 2 weeks after on the 28th. The solar eclipse, both the sun and moon will both be in Libra zodiac energy, which is pretty cool. So we get to experience this Libra energy, pulling the justice card this eclipse. So what I'm doing is I'm hosting an event. It's going to be a seance summons where we are going to collectively meditate together. And for justice, for the Libra energy that we're walking into, because, even though we have been in Libra zodiac since September, we won't enter Libra constellation until October 18th. That's 4 days after the Libra tropical eclipse. So we have, I feel like this is a nice opening time to open up space for the justice card, for the Libra card. Like, let's pull them. It's time for justice. It's time, we've all individually made money off of our gifts and, got a following, this, that, and the third. So it's about time that we come together and we collectively do what our gifts are here to do. We're summoning, it's like I didn't know what to call it, to be honest. So I called it like a sovereign summons. But yeah, that'll be October 14th. And we're going to be on Telegram, and it's going to be a collective thing, and it's free. And I would like to, whoever wants to come out, the more energy that we have in this circle, the better. So you let me know. We got a lot of sound makers that's going to be present. Some affirmation creators that's going to be present. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a necessary time. So that's what we have October 14th. Big time, big space for the Libra energy. Finding balance, finding justice and harmony in this space and time is really important because it's like you find balance, you find that level of like consideration for other people, but don't go into that people pleasing things. Balance is here. If you've been too self-centered, time to come out of yourself a little bit and think about other people. So we're in the realms of creating balance. We're on the Oba scales, we're on the Maya scales with it. This is where we're at with it. So when we go into the space of transformations, we feel empowered. We feel empowered there. And what we're doing there is, because Scorpio rules over the solar plexus experience, is you're going to experience how much you've balanced yourself in this Libra season. That's really what it's going to be like. Did you do your homework? This is where you experience how much of that homework you did between Virgo, going inward in the hermit mode, making sure you harvested the things that you wanted. You were very intentional. You were very thoughtful. The moral and integral code is on point. And now in Libra, we in the experience of the heart chakra. Now everything that you did on Virgo, going inward, doing the work, thinking again, and thinking one more time. Now you in Libra, exercising it, having these energy exchanges, creating a calibration in between your energy exchanges with other people, making sure that they're balanced. And then we go into a space of empowerment, courageousness, and fearlessness because you did the work. So I hope y'all did the work. That's what I got for y'all. I hope y'all did the work. For the people who are still like in different confusions, especially under this the full moon we just had was I'm so glad I did the full moon readings last Friday because I needed those. The full moon readings were so on point because when I went out to life, my earth moon was like getting punched in the face, and I had to remind myself, like, girl, you already know the fire touching the earth, the lava, it's very hard to break you down. So you had to get hit with the extreme, but then the water came thereafter. And it was a very good subconscious, like overall seeing everything kind of moment. I really appreciated it. So if you missed those full moon readings, it's never too late to go back in hindsight and make sense of some things that you experienced. It's never too late to do that. So you can always go back and do that. Peace. Welcome. So excuse me. So those readings were definitely on point. Those readings brought like the fire, depending on what your element is, what element your moon is in. But the moon, rules over a lot of different elements. Well, as far as like, this is the moon in Aries. So like if you had any Aries placements, this moon was affecting those placements in your life. As well as far as on the tropical space. Now in the Vedic space, the moon was in water. So if you had any, water placements, you might have been, having that kind of energy exchange with the water. If you were in between both, you was feeling both of them at the same time. You ain't know if you was coming or going, or to have a fire, water, moon, that is a nice beginning to the mindset of how important balance is, right? Because fire and water are so extreme. They're so on the, the different ends of the spectrum or whatever with things. So, how you handled yourself during that full moon, that should have gave you a reflection of how balanced you are and how much work needs to be done. That's really what that was about. That was a nice, like, look at yourself. The moon was a mirror for you. Look at yourself. Do you like where you at? Do you like where you going? What's up? And if you didn't really like that moon experience, then you need to go back and check your Libra energy, check your balances, check your overscales. There's some imbalanced stuff that you need to, really tap into. I know Scorpio is a couple weeks away, but like, come on now, get that solar plexus going, get that solar plexus, in alignment, because we go prograde on the 10th. Pluto goes prograde on the 10th to prepare us for that Scorpio season starting. So, and during the Scorpio season, that's when we get a lot of different tests to our courageousness, tests to our bravery, tests to our solar plexus chakra experiences. November is a space where it's like, some of y'all who still celebrate these holidays going into them spaces like, dang, I gotta go visit these family members. I gotta go visit these friends. And a lot of y'all gonna have to stand on y'all 1-2 when y'all get there in them spaces because you're gonna be, greeted with the energy. Y'all know what y'all about to be greeted with. So, being in alignment, standing on your square, solar plexus chakra energy there, let this moon show you how balanced you are. Are you a reactor? Are you an overreactor? Are you an underreactor? Are you responsive? Are you detached? What kind of energy did you put out during that moon? Reflect on it. How balanced were you under that fire and water? How did that fire and water affect you? What's up with it? That's a nice leeway into the Scorpio energy where it's going to be extreme waters on you. Especially for my fire babies out there. If y'all was out here walling out under this fire moon, like, it really get that in alignment because, when we go into this water season, it's going to be like You're going to be getting hit left and right, because you are in balance to the realms where like you too self-centered, you too self-involved. You gotta like put a wall or two down and be open. There's no room for love in a callous heart. So you gotta let some of the walls out and be open to correction. Be open to an actual energy exchange and not just you pouring out energy, because you want to be the fire in the room. Like it's not, you don't want to do that. So that's what this moon should have did for y'all. I gave y'all mirror that y'all needed to get y'all right for this Libra season. I've been I've been trying to behave. That's good though. Keep behaving, bro. That's the best thing you could do. Congratulate yourself, hug yourself, pat yourself on the back. Think about like, dang, if it was a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, I'd have been doing this. I would have reacted like that. I would have like let yourself have those reflections because you deserve to have those. If you experience this certain level of growth, a lot of things a couple years ago probably would have broke you, probably would have had you out here, throwing everything and everything else, but it didn't do that for you. It gave you, you in a whole different space. You still pushing, you still doing this, and that's something worth congratulating yourself for. That's something worth giving yourself recognition for. Like, you can't keep asking other people to pat you on the back. People don't know every little thing that you're going through, and everybody don't know like the backstory to what you're going through either. You know that. Your inner self knows all these things. Ain't nobody gonna hug you tighter than you can hug yourself because you're the only person that know these things. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for other people to give that to you, that's another imbalance. That's some more Libra shit that I would like for y'all to, find balance in, hug yourself, be balanced with the self-love. A lot of times be asking for other people's feedback, other people's energy. Gimme. Well, what are you giving yourself though? You want us to supplement or replace what you should be giving yourself. That's an imbalance. We won't be stuck on that. We won't be stuck on that at all. I most likely will be doing the planetary forecast tomorrow. I still gotta fix up the presentation and stuff like that, but I still wanted to go over some things with y'all today, especially about that moon and what the moon was doing and what Pluto is bringing to us next week, and it's gonna be a great time. It's actually a lot going on in the cosmos on the 10th, honestly, because you got Venus and the moon and the star Regulus all hanging out in Libra energy, and they're creating a triangle. So on top of the fact that we have Pluto going prograde, we also have that triangle happening in the sky on that day as well. That triangle with the moon is like home and family, nurturing, self-love, and things like that. And then Venus is also in the realms of love and compassion and, self-value and all those things, possessions and stuff like that. And Regulus is the it's like a royal star. It's little prince. It's the so this is a good time to materialize the things that you want, materialize more so in the bouts of love and nurturing, right? Yeah, there's an eclipse on the 14th. I'll actually be doing a collective summons if you're interested. That eclipse is falling into Libra energy. So this is going to be a seance on sovereignty, on getting our justice as a collective. So if you're interested, I would love to give you the Telegram link. It's a free event. It's more so about us just putting our purposes together as a community to, collectively manifest, what sovereignty looks like for us, what freedom looks like to us and stuff like that. So, I'm opening up to invitation to everybody, whether you just want to be a viewer or you want to be a contributor. By October 14th and October 28th, I'll be holding a summons for sovereignty. October 28th is the lunar eclipse. Usually the lunar eclipse is about 2 weeks after the solar, in alignment with the moon phases being from full to new moon and, coming back around the clock, if you will. So, and, eclipse season lasts for about 2 to 3 weeks thereafter and 2 to 3 weeks beforehand. So we've been experiencing this eclipse when the sun first entered in Virgo constellation and, seeing the connection between there. Not Virgo zodiac, Virgo constellation, which was, a little bit thereafter. So we'll be in this space for till like mid-November. It'll be like a nice eclipse energy, which is really dope because that's the connection to the sun and the moon, the external experience and the internal experience, the masculine energy exchange and the feminine energy exchange. And so under the eclipse energy, especially under not Virgo, especially under a Libra zodiac energy, having that eclipse is kind of like a balance of the inner and outer self and getting justice for the both. I think that's such a beautiful alignment. Beetlejuice, Sirius, Bellatrix, and Aldebaran are all over my crib tonight. Oh, bet. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, I believe everybody will see it. It's just at different times. I'm in the New Jersey area, so it'll be visible to me in my area on the it's different times. So it'll be visible over here from 8 to 3:13. But the eclipse is from 11 to 4:55. So we'll see a little bit of it over here. The max eclipse is at 1:59, so we'll be able to see the max eclipse. If you're on the West Coast, I know that the one in April 2024, that one is going to be best seen in Arkansas. I'm trying to go out there and see that one. That's going to be a vibe. Because April deals with Aries energy, so we're going to be in that space of new beginnings, and then coming into Taurus energy of materialization and heart chakra energy. So we'll be on that tropical Vedic balance beam, if you will. So that's going to be a nice vibe between earth and fire, and good times, good vibes. But I really do love the fact that this drone is in Libra, and it's about finding balance with your experience and heart chakra energy, your interpersonal energy exchanges, and then of course the bonds and contracts. Libra energy deals with bonds and contracts, and a lot of the contracts we have been undoing is the contracts that's telling us that we U.S. citizens. I had somebody come to my door today trying to sell me some stuff through the power company out here. I was like, I gave him the whole speech, like, we free over here. I ain't playing them games with you. And he didn't understand nothing I was saying. I hate how they be having these college kids knocking on people's doors, and it opens up a trauma energy in me, because I remember having them jobs in college. I would be knocking on doors for hours and not make no money, and they got to go back to my dorm room eating cups of noodles and shit. I don't miss that shit. That's how they get them, though. That direct marketing stuff be wild. But and I'm like, bro, we're not doing that over here. In fact, I'm about to show you, because you need to stop knocking on people's doors too. And I gave him all the information I had. I showed him my Meet the Straw Man book, the truth about the credit bureaus. I gave him the websites. I told him to take pictures. I gave him the information. Like, yeah, I got you, bro. Like, if anything, you be knocking on the door, people's doors, sharing this information. You know what I'm saying? Don't be knocking on doors for nobody's company. We're not doing that. We're not there in life. We're not there no more. And so, like, may this Libra eclipse bring more information like that out for people that are really trying to be free, and y'all really see the way the system is, and you understand the fact that they're magic here in this realm. And then it's funny because the United States there's a debate on whether the United States is a Cancer or a Libra. I say I go for Libra, but that's another divine alignment too. So you could definitely, expect some type of something happening, in the news or whatever on that day as well. Some different happenings happening. You see them preparing. They had everybody's phones ringing today. Every year around this time, they go into a government shutdown because this is the last quarter of the fiscal year. So in order to save their coins and stuff like that, so that the new year, their new fiscal year, can look numerically how they want it to look. They be quiet. They be silent on the spending and on the expenses and all that with the shutdown or whatever. So that's all a tax game on them. Like I told you, this is not a government. This is a corporation. So you got to think with a business mindset. What does a business do on the last quarter of the year? Y'all know this is a slow down quarter. Ain't really a lot of money flowing or coming or going or whatever, unless you market in some type of tactic, whether it be the holidays or natural disaster that's not really that natural, or whatever those you want to do. Like, unless they have like something like that in their up their sleeve, they're gonna stay shut down. And I think that how the summertime went, they're probably gonna be chilling for like at least until like late November, early December. That's just how businesses move. You gotta remove your mindset of thinking that you messing with a government right now, and this is how government. This is not a government. This never was a government. When we look up the history of how these folks came on the land, they came on the land with contracts and bonds and paper. This was all paper, and they actually were more transparent with the fact that they were a company and a corporation, but they were just violent beings that came over here and was like, yeah, this is the company and y'all work for us now, and now y'all gotta hunt to make money to eat instead of hunt to eat. We the new middlemen, and we've been ordained by God or whoever they call their God or whatever. So, paper is their wizardry. That's their wizardry. Now, if you sit here and listen to everything that they write on paper, then that's on you, baby. But you're not finna write no shit on paper and make like that's like me writing on this piece of paper right here, like, your name is such and such, such and such. No, it's not. Well, I wrote it on the paper though, so it's true. No, it's not. You writing on the paper don't make it true. You writing on that paper don't mean you could beat my ass. Like, you writing on that paper don't mean that you can see these hands. I don't give a fuck about your paper, bro. I'll wipe my ass with that paper. What are we talking about right now? But you got to understand that that's their wizardry, and they've been enforcing it for a few generations now. And the younger, we have our children very young, so it's quite a handful of generations. However, it's not that many years, you know what I'm saying? But if you do have a great-great-grandparent that, this is all they know, then what can they teach the child? You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason that's why they came over here and not only was forcing us to work, but also brought their education systems over here. And if you notice, whenever they do infiltrate somewhere, that's the first thing they do. They bring their religious crusaders and they bring their education. Those are the two main things, and usually the only things they bring. They don't bring anything else except for their papers telling them who they are, and the religion teaching them why they are that way, and the education enforcing that. And so now these people are mentally conditioned. Now these folks have a lot of knowledge on how to mentally condition someone. They know how to get you to work 8 hours, 40 hours a week. After 21 days underneath that regiment, you are fully conditioned. You are fully in a routine that I need you to be in because you did this Monday through Friday for 8 to 10 hours. So it gets to the event that after about 3 or 4 months, if I decide to cut this off, you're going crazy. And that's what happened a lot with, this whole situation and how the schools were shut down and stuff. People were going crazy. And I'm like, how are y'all going crazy that they're shut down and they're doing a bad job? If it's almost as if y'all forgot what their initial purpose was to begin with. Like, we want them to shut down. Why would you not want them to shut down? Why would you say, oh, we got to keep sending our kids to school, put our kids back to school. They got to open up the schools. You want the schools to open because you want a babysitter. Because they're not educating your children. They're not. Your kids are not getting any social skills. You know what your kids are getting? They're learning how to be sneaky. Because they're not even allowed to socialize in school. Like, I homeschool my kids. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, how do they socialize? I don't know. I keep them in the basement their whole life. It's as if, like, they don't have cousins or friends, or they don't go outside and play with neighborhood kids or something. Like, my kids do stuff. They socialize. There's things for them to do. They've been socializing since they were infants before they were even old enough to go to school. They're socialized. They're fine. They're way more socialized now than what they were in school, because in school they kept getting in trouble for socializing. Now they can do it and be themselves while they're doing it. And it's not a whole lot of restriction. In fact, it's very empowering for them. Solar plexus is on lock with my kids. You're not touching their solar plexus, bro. Not the way you could touch these kids' solar plexus out there. Like, you go to a public school and you see a kid tell another kid, I like your hair, all day long. They concentrated on the fact that person didn't like their hair. And they could be concentrated on one or two different ways. Either they're sad and they're crying, or they're angry and they want to fight. Why do you want to fight that person? Because they said they didn't like my hair. Okay, like, that's how sensitive these kids are. That's how, easy it is to touch their solar plexus. People getting shot at for saying you don't like my sneakers. Like, it was this whole thing about these two little girls fighting because because every day she's taking a picture of the girl's sneakers and stuff like solar plexus is very sensitive in these buildings, man. They ain't messing. I ain't messing with them. But those are different things. Like even before, when my children were in school, I still took the time out to like provide them with extra education outside of school. Like after school, you got homework from them, you got homework from me too. So I hope you're ready. I take pride in making sure that I got boys. You know what I mean? And even if I had daughters, I would do the same thing. But I got boys, so it matters to me how they lead. You know what I'm saying? Their capabilities of leading, their capacity to lead. It matters to me because I see a lot of men and boys out here with very hurt, very sensitive solar plexus chakras. And anybody that tries to get them to stand on their square with their solar plexus, they start screaming. They want to fight. They want to insult. That's all an imbalanced solar plexus chakra. That's what that is. You're not square on your shit. You don't feel powerful. So because you don't feel powerful, you don't have the ability to lead. Aries energy, that Aries moon, that was a leadership energy. Some of y'all got called to lead a certain people, place, thing, or situation. How well did you lead that situation? That says a lot about where your solar plexus chakra is. You know what I mean? That Piscean energy was in the Vedic chart with the moon. That subconscious energy, that wash over after you experience that Aries energy. Did you pay attention? Were your eyes even open wide enough for you to even receive the message that you received after you got done reaching that fire? Or was you still on fire? Can you cool yourself off? Or do you keep flaming yourself up? You know what I mean? Some people don't have the power to cool themselves off. You got to work on that because that Scorpio energy this year is definitely going to test it, being at a 26, 27 degree Capricorn energy and then moving forward. So that means once again, we'll be in that static in between the channels, that sound when you're changing the channel in between Capricorn and Aquarius. We get stable in Aquarius around election time next year. November 2024, that's when Pluto will be like, all right, I'm in Aquarius. I'm here now, which is very interesting because, Aquarius deals with like social awareness and revolutionary energy. And like we talked about over and over again, especially during the spring and summertime, the last time Pluto was in these degrees, which we're going back through for a third time as we go forward, the last time Pluto was in these degrees was during the Revolutionary War. So for the third time, we're going through these degrees again. And now it's like, what are you going to do? Are y'all finally going to revolutionize? Are y'all finally going to do something different? Are you finally going to seek social justice and have a sense of social awareness? And it's not just on this big scale, we riding in on horses, we about to fuck it up. But it's also in realms in your home, in yourself, your relationship with your own altar in yourself. Are you going to be revolutionary in how you carry yourself and what you accept and don't accept and how you socialize and how you have energy exchanges? Your awareness of other people's energy is not just about you and your journey. Yeah, you're the main character in your journey. I hope you are. You should be. However, there's other main characters in their own journey. It's other stars. It's other suns. It's other constellations and galaxies out here. And to invalidate their experience and validate their expression will be to invalidate your own. You get what I'm saying? You can't be going out here and validating everybody's experiences and validating everybody's knowledge and intellectual spaces and stuff like that because it don't resonate with you. It's not supposed to resonate with you. I wear these glasses because these are what I wear. These help me see. I can't go around telling everybody these gonna help you see. Because for some of y'all, it's gonna make y'all sick. Some of y'all gonna put these glasses on and start throwing up. Some of y'all gonna have, I gotta lay down, my head hurt. Some of y'all, maybe one of y'all might be able to see, but y'all not gonna see as well as I see because these prescriptions is for me. They're not for you. It's my eyeballs. So you gotta give your third eye that same energy that you give these two eyes. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? That third eye got its own prescription too, in alignment with the two eyes. I got my own prescription. None of y'all got this prescription I got. And when you might be close, but you don't have what I have. So I don't expect myself to agree with you 100% on where you at and what you're doing in your journey. And I don't expect any of y'all to 100% agree with me and where I'm at in my journey because we don't got the same prescription. However, at some point in time, let's get under the umbrella and do stuff together. But yeah, let's come back to Pluto. Transformations. Revolutionary energy, definitely. The last time we was here, was when we saw the fall of the Roman Empire, the rise and falls. Keep going back 248 years. We did that in the planetary forecast in April. We kept going back 248 years. That's when Pluto first entered Aquarius. If y'all want to check out that episode, Pluto first entered Aquarius on March 23rd, 2023. Excuse me. I got air in my chest. But when Pluto entered Aquarius, that's where we kept doing the 248, and looking at historical events. We saw the different big happenings during the Revolutionary War, when the colonists first got here. The rise and fall in the Moors are in alignment with that energy. Also, some biblical rise and falls of empires are in alignment with that 248. So, being present, we are watching the fall of some empires. And in this space and time, a lot of these empires is going to be scrambling for power. But if you look up, like, if you are strong in your own root chakra, because remember, Pluto's in the root chakra in this Capricorn and Aquarius energy in alignment with how the Kabbalah is set up. If you are in alignment with your root chakra and you in charge of your root chakra, ain't too much these people doing going to affect you or bother you, because you know where you're at, and you know where you're going, and you know where you're building. But if you still allowing these corporations to rule over your root chakra, you're going to experience a death and rebirth. Now, that death and rebirth can be, on different factors. You can have a physical death, you can have a mental, emotional, financial, whatever. But there's going to be a death and rebirth in your space. There's going to be a death and rebirth in your space regardless of what route you take. But definitely in that route. Definitely in that route is not going to feel good because you're not in control. You're allowing somebody else to come into your space and control it and tell you how to obtain your basic resources and where to get them from and what are they. We've allowed people to tell us what's good for our bodies, how to keep our bodies going. Meanwhile, the food pyramid was actually making us sick. So you got these people that don't really know much about you, not really trying to learn about you, and you not really trying to do it for yourself. So it's like, who's ruling the root chakra here, Pluto said, I got y'all. Transformation, death to it all, death and rebirth to it all. We're not going to keep putting up with this. Y'all don't have to keep putting up with this, and we're not going to. So, that's a good space. Pluto is a good space. Pluto is on the spotlight. Pluto seems to be the spotlight of this Hump Day reading, whether it's Pluto or the full moon we just experienced. What else we got going on? We actually had a transit happen today. Lilith, the dark side of the moon, transited today. Let me see my notes. Lilith transited into the Virgo zodiac today. So on the tropical chart, Lilith has gone from Leo, where like your energy experiences, your external energy and stuff like that. All of that was, involved with your triggers, whether it was triggering you to action, anger, repression, suppression. I hope you were paying attention to your triggers, because those triggers were telling you the different energies in self that you repressed or not really paying attention to. Those are your primordial energies, your primordial, triggers. And, just have a little journal like, oh, wow, something like this happened and that joint, I was ready. Or this happened and they was about to get their ass beat. Like, it's just like different thing, pay attention to what, pushes you. So now Lilith is entering Virgo energy. So while, you were in Leo, we were experiencing. But now that we're going into Virgo, now it's like, what did we learn? What did we experience? Are you paying attention? Were you paying attention? Just a lot of deep diving into your Lilith energies. A lot of y'all, especially because we're coming into Hallows Eve and the veil is super thin, a lot of y'all are going to find yourselves, running into like feeling an attraction towards Lilith. Definitely happening here. Virgo energy is one of the biggest constellations we have in our sky. There's black holes in that hole. And so, like, getting sucked into Lilith energy could definitely happen. Be careful when that happens, especially, under the Hallows Eve constellations and stuff like that. But you don't want to dive too deep in. Remember, balance is key here. Let Libra remind you how important balance is when needed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Lilith energy is definitely, going to be in the spotlight of your thought process and a lot of the patterns and a lot of things that are affecting your routine, because you kept experiencing Lilith in Leo or whatever, which we know Leo is Orumila. That is the energy that rules your, the right side of your third eye, your experiences, your masculine energy. Leo is in alignment with the sun. The sun is all masculine energy, what the light reflects off of and stuff outside of self. So to go from the experiences to go inward on Virgo energy and start applying it to your routine. So some of you guys might have had some triggering experiences that you're going to carry out into your routines now, either in a positive or negative way, because there are positive and negative triggers, you know. Tap into what your personal Lilith is in. Start studying about Lilith and that primordial energy. Lilith was a real one. Lilith was the first wife of Adam, and Adam was doing the most. Now, the story I heard, if y'all was on Virgo Virgin Talk, y'all know me and Danielle be going in. But, it was just like Lilith was like, if we're both from the same soil and things, then why you keep trying to dominate me? We should be equal. We should complement each other. But Adam wasn't about that. Adam wanted someone he could dominate over or whatever. So Lilith was like, all right, I'm out, because I explained myself mad times and I put up with the shit for mad long. I'm over it. So Lilith went out to the Red Sea, and so she was cursed for going out to the Red Sea. You know, God was hot or whatever. She wasn't supposed to leave. So the curse was she was having like 100 babies a day, and the majority of them were dying. And so that's a nice alignment with, not nice, but that's an alignment with the Red Sea, it being red. A lot of different biblical happenings happened at the Red Sea, did they not? So that all comes back to the primordial energy of Lilith, the first goddess, the first wife, the first energy, as far as this book goes. Now, y'all know, we can get into that later, but y'all get what I'm saying now, be present. But yeah, a lot of, biblical events, a lot of protection happened in the Red Sea and things like that. And that was all, the first mother, the hidden, the shadow mother, the primordial mother. So then, Adam even sent, I think, 2 or 3 angels out there, and she said no. And then after a certain period of time, once they realized that sis was relentless, she wasn't coming to fuck back, they, I believe after a while, the curse was indeed lifted. Then Adam and Eve ended up getting cursed anyway. So Lilith was right in the end. Fuck him. And so, I see like a nice transition of the goddesses happening on this plane. For a long period of time, there was a lot of Eves out here, like on that, oh, I'm from your rib, I'll sit up under you. And now I see the transformations happening amongst the goddesses out here, where it's like, it's more Liliths and less Eves. And so that's where you'll get like a lot of anger, a lot of that dark energy, a lot of women surrounded by maroons, reds, blood reds and stuff like that, and blacks and stuff. And that's where a lot of that is. That's the, primordial goddess, the primordial mother coming out, and not so much getting her revenge. I don't like the word revenge. Let's use retribution, because it is justified. You know what I'm saying? That God is indeed the God of war. And so, it is what it is. So it's a lot of transformations to all that energy as well. The moon being in alignment with Lilith, especially during the lunar eclipse on the 28th, is essential, because that's when we'll be dealing with the dark side of the moon come the lunar eclipse. So that's a good time to, really have your alignment with Lilith together. And then the 28th, that's, around the Hallows Eve, festivities, when the veil is super thin around that time as well. So that's a good space and time. Yes, Jupiter is in retrograde till December 26th. I got a couple of retrogrades. Uranus is in retrograde till January 27th. Vesta goes in retrograde one more time for the year, and that's from November 2nd, and that's going to go on until August 2nd. Now, Vesta is the asteroid of passion, what you're passionate about. Now, on a psychological approach, Vesta, when you have sex, there's certain neurons and neurotransmitters that go off in your brain. When you engage in a certain activity, find out where your Vesta is in your chart. Most likely, when you engage into that activity, the same neurotransmitters go off in your brain as if you were having sex. Vesta is associated with the Vestral fire. And so we're really talking about, and the Vestral virgins, they weren't allowed to have sex. They had to sit around this fire and keep the fire alive. So this is kind of like what you like to do that gives you that same energy. And sex is supposed to be seen as this very passionate. Sex is one of the most powerful, potent, creation energies. So for a Vesta to be placing that energy is like, yeah, like my personal Vesta is in Gemini. So like what I'm doing now, teaching, learning, communication, being in my community, all that shit, yeah, that shit does it for me. I'm good. I can stay single forever. I love it here. Vesta as a collective is in Cancer right now. So, that passion energy is going towards nurturing spaces, creating nurturing spaces, self-love, self-care, love and care for others, nourishment, the divine womb, the mother, again, coming back to Lilith energy as Cancer energy is associated with the moon. So, coming into, eclipses and all the conjunctions, and it's just a beautiful time. We moonlight this month. All right. Our passion is towards the moon. Everybody's looking at the moon this month. We howling at the moon this month. It's Halloween. Like, Dia de los Muertos. Is all these different things happening under the realms of that Cancer energy, the intuitive space, the mother. We're all going back to that energy. And that's another reason why I really want to do this summons. I think this is going to be a really dope alignment. We got 10 more days. I'm going to get on my game about the marketing. I will admit I have been slipping. But give me grace. I just got back home on Monday. Y'all know I'm back in my homeschooling schedule, and y'all know that's top priority. So once I get that down locked and grounded, everything just piles on top of it accordingly. Because that's everything surrounds homeschooling. Nothing comes before homeschooling. Everything surrounds homeschooling. So everybody got to bear with me for the first 7 days. Let me get my routine right with my boys, and then everybody come after. Because, with them, just being very intentional, like what I sit up here and do with y'all, I do with them too. It's not just about math and all these different things, math, reading, science, and all that, but it's also like, where's your spirit at? Let's read our charts. Let's, we're going to learn about the straw man. We're going to put these things together. Me and my oldest son this season, we're going to work on creating our own oils, tinctures, and something else I want to do. But that's what we're working on, because the first 2 years we've been working on identifying and reading in the book. So now we get to practice actually making medicine. So it's good. Syrups. That's what we're going to do. Syrups. So, yeah, it's a fun time. I love it here. I be so in tune with my moon energy when it comes to my boys. That's how I'm choosing to transmute my pain into a strength. My Chiron is in Cancer, so that's where a lot of my pain is at and stuff like that. And so I transmute it through my kids, and I don't know if that's right, wrong. I do my best. Also, Neptune is in retrograde. That started June 30th. That's going on till December 6th as well. So, Neptune and Jupiter kind of prograde around the same time. Saturn is retrograde till November 4th. I believe Mercury has one more retrograde. That one starts December 13th, and that's up until New Year's, or the fiscal New Year's anyway. Aries will go prograde on January 11th, 111. It's a good time. We'll be in the year of 8, transformations, more Pluto Scorpio energy. See the introduction? Pluto about to be in Aquarius, about to do some ill shit in the year of 8, y'all. This year of 7 was all about balance and justice and interpersonal relationships and knowledge of the contracts and bonds and things like that. So this year in the year of 7, you've seen a lot of people have that grand awakening of none of this paper shit is real. None of this shit is real. And I love the fact that the younger people are coming into the realization. And I love young people energy, because ain't nobody running circles like somebody, and they fucking 16 to 25. Ain't nobody running circles like them. Ain't nobody running circles like that. That was my problem with the studying up all night and then vamping to class in the morning. That is the crowd that we need to give this knowledge to, because they're going to circulate it. They're in their solar plexus stage in life. Solar plexus stage is from 14 to 21, and then you go into the heart chakra from 21 to 28. So them being in this space, you gotta give them that knowledge so they can circulate that joint. You doing yourself a disservice if you got all this knowledge and you're not giving it to the young folks. Oh no, you don't talk too much. You good. I love the comments. It made me feel like I'm not talking to myself. Your Chiron is in Taurus, the 6th house. In the 6th house. Oh, and the 6th is your birthday. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. 6s. Chiron and Taurus, huh? A lot of pain in the heart chakra there. That's a lot of transformation to possess the possessive energy that Taurians have. I'm surrounded by a lot of Taurians. My mom, my son, one of my sons, you know, at some period of time, it was like the relatives of my partner at the time. And it's like a lot of Taurians. My stepdad. Yeah, it's the goal is to learn how to transmute the wounds into a superpower. So it's not so transmute the wounds into a strength. So it's not so much as like walking around still wounded. And I know a lot of times in this space and time in this world, that can be like misinterpreted as like, oh, I've been hurt. Someone put these walls up. I'm not gonna let nobody in. It's me. I'm gonna be mean to people, and that's not the way to do it. And because that's not moving like a healed person. That's still moving like a hurt person. You're just allowing your hurt to be your sword and shield. And I talked about that yesterday with the 3 of Swords cup I kept pulling. But I also talked about that in Sunday service that just passed, because we talked about Aries, which is the solar plexus chakra, and recognizing the fact that the altars and the gods are the people. It's not the Orishas that you see on Google or in the photos. It's not all the shit you set up on your side table drawer, on the tables in your kitchen or on your floor or whatever. It's the people. So if you doing all of this work and you still mistreating people, the true altar, you fucking up. We are the true altar. So if you ask God for stuff, it's always going to come in the form of a person. Someone's going to say, if you ask God for money, God going to send you somebody that's going to give you an opportunity to go get that money. You know what I'm saying? God's going to bring something, you know what I mean? So you got to have that level of awareness and not think, oh, I'm going to find a bag of money on the side, or I'm going to win the lotto. God didn't make the lotto. That's more man-made paper shit. That's you still playing the paper game with this man-made. So it's either man or God. You got to pick a team. You either going to go to man for the money or you're going to go to God for the money. You know what I'm saying? But you can't go to both. You could try to go to both, but serving two is just going to fuck up your vortex. So now you got this stagnation energy. It's not a flow here. It's a dam there, and it's stomping you up. And then you wonder why things are coming to you in trickles, or not is not good enough, or is not enough, is not this, is not that. And that's because, oh, it is 11/11. Yay. I've been catching my birthday a lot lately. But yeah, it's not going to be enough. It's because you put in your altar. You got 2 different gods on your altar. You got the man-made, the debt note god on your altar, and all the papers that they made when they came over here. And then you're trying to put the ultimate, the Nyambe, supreme god on your altar at the same time. And what did God say? You can't have no God before me, and you definitely not finna have no God next to me. What the fuck is we doing right now? That's like, and it's the law of physics too, because no 2 things can stay in the same place at the same time, right? So how you gonna put you first and then put this corporation first at the same? Because you God, right? You know you God, right? So when I say you can't put no God before me, I'm talking about you. You can't put nothing or nobody before you. You are a jealous God. You get mad at yourself when you put other people, other places, and things before you, right? You get mad at yourself. You get mad at the situation. You have an attitude. All these different things like that. That's all solar plexus overactivity, because you're not standing on your square, right? So how are you going to put a God before you on your own fucking altar in your own heart? And that's what a lot of people doing with the money, with the degrees, with the accolades, with the, oh, I'm better than you. So you better than God because you got more money. You better than God because you got these clothes on. You better than God because you got these houses and these cars. You get where I'm going with this? Like, you still putting God before, you still putting the stuff before God because you looking at another God saying, I'm better than you because I got this stuff and you don't have this stuff. Oh, so that's more important than God. Because if it was really about God, if it was really, and then it's crazy because these people go on stage and the first thing they think is God, and is how you gonna think God if God ain't nowhere near what you doing? You ain't honoring nobody. You not putting nothing in your altar that's righteous. You over here drinking alcohol, eating whatever the fuck you want, taking drugs. You know, you ignoring your body language. You're ignoring when you're tired. These people be tired and still go to work and think that's a flex. Oh, I no days off, and what am I celebrating for? Work, 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 work. So you're not even in alignment with the netters. It's October and you still moving like it's the 25th of July. Your Kundalini ain't all the way up there no more. We have the equinox. That means that we have more nighttime than we do have daytime. So that means that you need to start moving like the sunlight is dimming. Your solar plexus should be like chilling right now. It's hibernation time. Hermit card should be pulled. You know what I'm saying? But no, not you. Because what man made is more important than what God made. God made the netters. God made the system so that you could rest. Shit, even the government now. They go and fucking shut down every year. Even they in alignment with nature. They know when to do their seances. They know when to sacrifice people. You don't have to agree with their methods. Yeah, their methods are sick as shit. I'm not going to sit here and say like, you know, I do that. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the powers that be that are telling you to be out of alignment with nature, they're in alignment with nature. You notice in the stars, oh, they about to do another ritual. They about to do it. Yeah, they're about to do it. Now, what are you doing? Worrying about what they doing? Still putting other gods before your own God? Where's your ritual? And I'll be listening to a lot of astrologists and tarot readers and stuff, and they always talk about what somebody else doing, another ritual, another this, another. Where's your rituals? Where's your routine? Where's your acknowledgement of the netters? If you were doing what you were supposed to be doing in alignment with nature and in alignment with your God, you wouldn't be worrying about what they was doing in alignment with nature with their God. Their solar plexus is popping. They're so even in this space and time, they still will sit there and save face. They got this president on TV saying the craziest of things, fucking flirting with kids on camera in front of millions of people. You had the whole, what was that? I don't want to say that was a Dalai Lama. I don't know who he was, but he fucking mouth kissing kids on TV. They solar plexus is still popping. I ain't seen nobody quit yet. I didn't see nobody stop. I didn't see nothing stop moving. I didn't see their currency stop flowing. I didn't see no stagnation in their rituals. You know what I see? I see stagnation in the rituals of everyone else that's sitting there watching every little thing they do. Soon as they do a ritual, y'all stop y'all rituals. Why? For every energy, there's an equal opposite energy. The universe doesn't know good or bad. It just goes where it's called. If their shit is working, what makes you think your shit not gonna work? You know who you are. You know you a guy. You know you a universe. You know you all these things. You really think somebody bigger than you? Thou shalt not have another God before me. I don't play about that one. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. Thou shalt not have another God before me. I don't tolerate no shit like that. I come first. I don't like how it feels when I don't come first. I be mad at myself. I be fuming on the inside. Ooh, it's nasty in there. The words I be saying, the attitude, the huffing and puffing. I feel all hot. I start sweating. My heart racing. It's a lot that goes on when I don't put myself first. And I put another people, place, thing, experience, indoctrination, whatever the fuck else first. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I gotta be true over here, buddy. And if you are not being true, and you ignoring your soul that's telling you that you put another God before them, like, this is your wake-up call. Under the sun of justice, this is your wake-up call. Right. I was looking for you last night too. I subscribed to your page, so now when you go live, I'll get a notification. So thank you for popping up yesterday during the Tarot Tuesday. That was love. Don't be mad at yourself no more. You gotta hug yourself. You gotta forgive yourself, and then you gotta put yourself first again. It's a process. It's a process. But you gotta put yourself first, because you the guide, you the director. Your solar plexus is your gut. Your gut controls your mind. You know what I mean? So if those two is communicating with you, and you got God or Allah or whoever on your heart. Oh, that's how we doing it? Okay. When you let God in your heart, that connects your sacral chakra with your solar plexus chakra, and it creates a balance there. And we know the gut rules the mind. So you have this connection of the mind being ruled. All right. So you got to be, mindfulness of who you got on your throne, your solar plexus, your fire, holding your fire. Historically speaking, we never did it right because we were committing idolatry through and through. And that's also a reason why it was so easy for these beings to come on our land and give us more idolatry in the form of paper, because we were already experiencing idolatry to a certain extent. And I won't say this applies to everybody, but a lot of gods out here was out here, instead of acknowledging their own fire pit and what they were putting and sacrificing into their own fire pit, whether it be the power of breath, the power of drinking, or the power of smoke, the power of the food they were putting in, or whatever, they were creating altars outside of themselves and putting bodies on top of it and killing people on the fire, cutting their heads off and letting the whole thing. And granted, it is a ritual, and yes, people do still do those rituals today. And, will I say they're not effective? Not entirely. But however, the most effective is to go inward and know what your true power is in your inner self, and know that you are the true altar, not the idolatry. And the fact that these powers that be have still been doing idolatry is a big reason why they're falling too, because they're not in alignment. They're not in alignment. And this realm of Aquarius is no longer about believing. It's now about knowing. So what do you know? Because what we know is what's about to be true. It's not about belief no more. But that's what I got for y'all. I done told y'all what's happening in the stars and stuff like that. Y'all already know I see y'all for the planetary forecast. So this is going to go one or two ways. Y'all might either see me tomorrow on the Seeds of Sun podcast on Do the Knowledge Radio, or y'all going to see me back here doing the planetary forecast. But if you do see me doing Seeds of the Sun podcast, then I'll be here for the planetary forecast on Friday. All right, so we're going to catch up with what the stars are doing all the way up to like October 20th. And then even beyond that, because y'all know I got all the retrogrades, the meteor showers, the conjunctions, and all that stuff between the asteroids and the constellations and the planets and stuff like that. A lot of things happening in the stars and the skies. Peace. I thank y'all for tuning in with me this Wednesday and listening to my message and stuff like that. The Alchemist, I love that book. I've read The Alchemist many, many times. There's a lot of things in that. In fact, on my computer screens, my laptop screens, and my phone screens, I have a quote, and I'm going to read it to you. Because I got dual screens. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. And that is a quote that I've been holding from The Alchemist for many years. That was from the first time I read the Alchemist book. And so I think it's really dope that I lined up with Foxy, because she has Pronoia starseed. And what does Pronoia mean? It means the universe is working in your favor. So, I think that, by me standing in my truth, it's a lot of people that I align with from doing that. And so a lot of that happens from me acknowledging my God, who's on my altar. It's God on my altar. There ain't none of this man-made stuff. And is it easy? No, I'm having a very hard time. I'm having such a hard time. I'm getting kicked left and right from other people who don't have the true God as their God. I'm getting kicked by people who claim they got God as their true God, and they don't. They don't. They still committing idolatry. They still putting these man-made things before the true God. And I respect it, because I know that this is our upbringing. This was beaten to us. This was, tortured into us. This was, this is a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear that's happening. It's an imbalance in our solar plexus chakra. That's what it really is. And it's from allowing these beings to infiltrate our root chakras. So we got a lot of root work to do, a lot of shadow work to do. I do hope y'all align with me for these summons that we have on the 14th and 28th. If y'all have any celestial happenings happening this month, please let me know. I would love to align with y'all. K-Sean, I definitely want to stay in alignment with you. Like I said, I subscribe to your YouTube page. So I'll be in alignment for the stargazing. And when you do, keep doing what you do as well. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Sage. Thank you for tapping in too. I appreciate everybody else that's been, in the cosmos between Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. I see all of y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in. So I'm headed out because I got some readings to do. And I'll see y'all for the planetary forecast and the Seeds of Sun podcast. Hey, yo, y'all be friends.